Cities are built in layers. New roads cover old roads. Buildings replace older structures. Forgotten infrastructure disappears beneath concrete and steel. Most of the time, those buried layers eventually become history. Sometimes they become something else. In the spring of 2018, a group of urban explorers entered a section of abandoned utility tunnels beneath the city of Ravensburg. They were searching for old maintenance routes scheduled for demolition. Instead, they discovered a sealed passage that did not appear on any city blueprint. It should not have existed. The tunnel extended deep beneath the city. Its construction materials matched no known infrastructure project, and according to every expert who examined it, the structure appeared to be older than Ravensburg itself. What investigators eventually found inside would raise a far more disturbing question. If the city was built on top of the tunnel, who built the tunnel first?
Ravensburg was founded in 1847 along a major river crossing. Over the following century, it expanded rapidly. As the population grew, engineers constructed an extensive network of underground infrastructure: water systems, steam tunnels, maintenance corridors, utility access routes. Much of the older network was abandoned and forgotten. These tunnels became popular among urban explorers. On April 22, 2018, 4 explorers entered a neglected maintenance section beneath the Eastern Industrial District. The group documented their activities with cameras and GPS equipment. Their goal was simple: map portions of the underground network before upcoming redevelopment projects permanently sealed them. For the first 2 hours, nothing unusual occurred. The explorers navigated a series of aging corridors and recorded abandoned equipment. Then one of them noticed something strange. A brick wall had been constructed across the end of a service tunnel. That alone was not unusual. The city had sealed unused passages before. What attracted attention was the wall itself. The bricks differed from surrounding construction. They appeared significantly older, and unlike nearby structures, they contained no identification markings, no maintenance tags, no dates, no records.
The wall looked as though it had been built long before the rest of the tunnel. The group decided to investigate further. Behind debris near the base of the wall, they discovered a narrow opening, just large enough for a person to crawl through. Beyond it lay another passage. The explorers expected to find an abandoned utility corridor. Instead, their lights revealed a stone tunnel extending into darkness. The walls were constructed from massive blocks of fitted stone. No concrete, no steel reinforcement, no modern materials whatsoever. The passage looked ancient. The group continued forward. According to camera footage later recovered from the site, the atmosphere changed almost immediately. Sounds became muted. Equipment began malfunctioning. One explorer reported that his watch stopped working. Another noticed that the GPS unit could no longer establish a signal. Such failures were not entirely unexpected underground, yet the devices continued malfunctioning even after being replaced. The deeper they traveled, the stranger the tunnel became. Tool marks covered sections of the stone. Not modern machine cuts, hand-carved markings, thousands of them. Many appeared to be symbols rather than words. Linguists later examined the footage. No match was ever identified.
The symbols did not resemble any known writing system. Some repeated throughout the passage. Others appeared only once. Their meaning remains unknown. Roughly 300 feet beyond the entrance, the explorers encountered the first chamber. The room was circular. Its ceiling disappeared beyond the range of their lights. The floor was covered in dust. No signs of recent activity were visible. At the center of the chamber stood a stone pillar. Carved into the pillar were hundreds of names. Most had been worn away by time. Others remained partially legible. Investigators later compared the names against historical records. No matches were found. The names belonged to no known population associated with the region. One explorer reportedly joked that they had discovered a forgotten civilization. Minutes later, he would become the first person to suggest turning back. The reason appears repeatedly throughout the recovered footage. Voices. At first, the sounds are faint, barely audible beneath footsteps and equipment noise. As the recording continues, whispers become increasingly noticeable. The explorers initially assumed they were hearing echoes. The tunnel produced unusual acoustics. However, audio analysis revealed something troubling. The whispers did not match the explorers' voices. Multiple unidentified speakers could be heard throughout the recordings. None were present. The group pressed onward. Beyond the chamber, the tunnel sloped deeper underground. Measurements later estimated that the passage descended far below the deepest documented infrastructure in the city. According to geological surveys, the tunnel should have intersected solid bedrock. Instead, it continued uninterrupted. The deeper sections displayed signs of deliberate construction. Smooth walls, precise angles, carefully fitted stonework. Whoever built the structure possessed engineering knowledge far beyond what historians expected from any pre-settlement culture in the region. Then the explorers reached the door. The object measured approximately 15 feet tall. It was carved directly into the stone. No hinges were visible, no handle, no mechanism. Just a massive circular design etched across its surface. The pattern resembled concentric rings surrounding a single central point. Every camera recovered from the expedition contains footage of the door. Unfortunately, the recordings become increasingly unstable near it. Visual distortion appears throughout the frames. Audio interference intensifies. Several minutes of footage are missing entirely. The surviving recordings capture only fragments of what happened next. According to statements provided afterward, one explorer noticed fresh footprints near the doorway. The discovery made no sense. The dust covering the tunnel floor appeared undisturbed elsewhere. Yet footprints surrounded the entrance. Hundreds of them, all leading toward the door. None leading away. The group decided to leave. That decision came too late. As they turned back, one member of the expedition realized something was wrong. The tunnel behind them no longer looked the same. The route they had followed appeared altered. Passages seemed longer. Distances felt incorrect. Landmarks no longer matched earlier recordings. The explorers attempted to retrace their steps. Progress became increasingly difficult. According to timestamps, the return journey should have taken less than an hour. Instead, they wandered underground for nearly 7. The footage recovered during this period remains heavily debated. Several clips appear to show figures standing at the edge of flashlight range. The shapes never move directly. They are simply present in one frame and absent in the next. Investigators have proposed visual artifacts and lighting effects. Those explanations fail to account for one recurring detail. The figures always appear to be facing the camera. Eventually, the group located the original entrance and escaped. All 4 explorers emerged physically unharmed. The incident might have ended there. Instead, problems began after they returned home. Members of the expedition reported vivid dreams involving the tunnel. The dreams were nearly identical. Each described an enormous underground city extending beyond the sealed door. Each included countless structures illuminated by an unknown light source. And each ended with the dreamer standing before something waiting in the darkness. None could describe what they saw, only the feeling that it had noticed them. Researchers initially dismissed the reports. Then, additional anomalies emerged. Digital files associated with the expedition began changing. Photographs displayed inconsistencies between copies. Video timestamps shifted. Sections of audio disappeared. Most concerning was footage from the circular chamber. Reviewers repeatedly noticed details that seemed absent during previous viewings. Additional symbols, new markings, shapes standing in the background. No 2 examinations produced identical observations. The city eventually launched an official investigation. Engineers surveyed the site. Archaeologists reviewed the tunnel. Historians searched for records. None could identify its origin. Carbon dating performed on organic material found within the structure produced impossible results. Some samples appeared older than the city. Others appeared older than known settlement activity in the region. One sample returned a date so inconsistent that the laboratory assumed contamination. Repeated testing produced the same result. The findings were never publicly released. The tunnel was sealed 6 months later. Official statements cited safety concerns. Access points were reinforced with concrete. Security monitoring was installed. The public was assured that the matter had been resolved. Then came the maintenance reports. Over the next 3 years, workers assigned to inspect the sealed entrance submitted a series of unusual observations. Several reported hearing distant sounds behind the concrete barrier. Others described vibrations that could not be traced to nearby infrastructure. One crew claimed to hear what sounded like voices speaking beneath the city. No source was identified. Most reports were dismissed. One was not. In 2021, a sensor installed near the sealed tunnel detected movement beyond the barrier. Engineers initially assumed equipment failure. The readings continued. The motion appeared slow but consistent. Something was moving in the passage. The data suggested it was approaching the sealed entrance. The movement continued for nearly 11 hours, then stopped. No further activity was recorded.
Authorities declined to investigate. The sensor was removed shortly afterward. There is one final detail. Among the recovered expedition footage, investigators discovered a segment lasting less than 4 seconds. The clip appears near the end of the exploration. The camera briefly points back toward the massive stone door. Most viewers focus on the doorway itself. Experts eventually noticed something else: the footprints. During earlier footage, every visible print leads toward the door. In the final clip, the pattern has changed. A second set of tracks is visible. Fresh impressions, clear and unmistakable. They emerge from beneath the doorway and continue into the tunnel. The discovery was never explained. Neither was a handwritten note found inside one explorer's field journal several weeks later. No one admitted writing it. The message occupied an entire page. Only 5 words. It read, "The city was built after." No one knows what that statement means. No one knows who built the tunnel. And if the note is correct, the foundations of Ravensburg may be resting on something far older than history remembers. Something that was already there, waiting beneath the city, long before the first stone was ever laid.